Ladies and gentlemen, this is Metroid. Welcome back to my Let's Play of the randomized Super Metroid. Unfortunately, this final episode... Well, first off, this will be the final episode of this specific game, because all that's left, really, is, besides to collect any items, which I don't know where they are. I'm dead serious about that. There's a bunch of items in this game, I guess, that I don't know their actual locations. But, aside from that, there's really only one thing left to do, and that's to beat the game. And in comparison to a regular run of an not random version of this game, there's really nothing different. After you get all of your regular power-ups, that's where any randomized run gets boring, because everything else is the same. Unless you really like taking out Mother Brain and blowing up the planet, saving the Eticoons and Dakoras. That's all that's left. So, yeah, guess that's what I'll be showing you. And I may very well be running a final episode. I'm not going to save in Torian this time, because I want to run an episode in which I go and collect all the stuff that I missed. I'm gonna have to look up where they are, though. Anyway, here is the boss statue room. Kraid dying does that. Fantoon dying does that. Dragoon, I think is his name, dying does that. And Ridley's death does this. I always wondered why his eye starts out bright red, glowing, all that, and then it explodes purple. It's weird. Anyway, so jump around for a little bit. Still don't like that. Anyway. Final part of the game, Torian. Now, for those of you who have not played Super Metroid, but have played Metroid Other M, the beginning of that game comes from the end of this one. Super missiles kill these things in one hit, which is very handy. Saves you time, saves you ammo. There we go. Metroids are really easy to beat in this version because you don't have to make the effort to hit them on the same side of a wall. And you can shoot diagonally. And you can hit them with super missiles. All of these things contribute to making these Metroid kills really easy. In fact, I think that was the last Metroid room. Everything else is going to be... Yep, these things. These things are completely immortal. Which is why seeing them... Chorizo first. Seeing them in a situation where they are getting pulverized, or I should say in this case, well, just watch. If you haven't seen this happen before, just watch. There is actually no way to avoid this. Well, I actually think there is supposed to be a way for you to avoid this. And yes, it's important. A whole lot of people are like, oh, but the baby in the bottle ship. Well, in the previous game, this happened. It's like, Mama, what the fuck have I done? Wow, I better bleep that. Mama, what have I done? And you're like, it's okay, baby. No. More likely Samus is like, what the hell just happened? Why am I not dead? And as usual, let's not save in this little save. Well, usually I would save in this little save room, but unfortunately the Super Metroid door, yes, the titular Super Metroid, when you go through it, it doesn't reopen. Wow, I am way worse at that than I should be. Super missiles make really short work of that. If you hit. Let's switch to regular missiles. Cool. Yep. Let's stay up out of the acid. Now, this shocked a lot of people when they first played the game and got to this point. This happens. The beginning of Metroid Other M starts with the tail end of this fight. And disappoints because it doesn't actually show the weapon that you get at the end of it. And it does not matter that I am going to be out of ammo at the tail end of this because, well, the weapon you get at the end of this has no ammo limits. In fact, I always thought it was... See? All my ammo is now gone. I found out when I was playing this game years ago that if you don't have enough energy tanks, this fight will kill you. There is no way to avoid that. Here, I'll go right behind. This could end badly. Nope, okay. Can't get back up. And of course, they make it... This spooked a whole lot of people when they weren't expecting this. Metroid comes out of nowhere, saves your butt. Drains Mother Brain, or Mother Brain Rex, or whatever you want to call this thing. I think you gotta admit, that character model is interesting if you're not thinking about it, and kind of spooks you if you're really not thinking about it, and if this is the best graphics you've ever seen at the time. But by comparison, if I look at it now, that is hokey. That is really hokey. Big head, little arms. I really don't think this character model was thought all that very well through. Anyway, he comes back to life. As you can see him drooling and from blood. Metroid's like, I'm gonna bring Mama back to life here. I'm just gonna keep shooting it until this thing flies away from your head. So everybody saw the death of the quote-unquote baby. This is what that death gives you. The first time the Hyper Beam was shown in a game. Super Metroid. For a long time, people were very interested in seeing what the Hyper Beam would be like in the rest of the game. There's an unfortunate, and the reason we know it's called the Hyper Beam is right there. Hyper Beam. You can't even select it to shut it off, which kind of sucks, but whatever. But this rainbow Hyper Beam, some people wanted to see what it was like playing with the Hyper Beam throughout the whole game. Well, it's kind of fun, but it has some downsides. You can't freeze anything. So fighting the Metroids at the end of the game, you can't beat them. He shot me. Anyway. What I do wonder is because I think, if I remember correctly, I didn't actually kill the Golden Chorizo. Or, not the Golden Chorizo, the regular one. The one where you get the bomb. Because I didn't actually have the bomb yet. He didn't wake up and I didn't have to fight him. So that was skipped. So this should look familiar. Thinking maybe I could have just shot straight up the chamber. Guess not. Not to say I shouldn't keep trying to do that in the future. That'd be interesting. Anyway, as you can see, the acid is no longer following me. The previous two rooms, acid will crawl up the chamber and drain your energy. So let's see if Chorizo's here. If he is, I might get slowed down. Might. I am using the Hyper Beam. No Chorizo. Save the animals. Luckily for me, I actually do have the regular bomb. Oh! Never mind. The rocks aren't there. You don't have to blow them open with the cheat move. You don't have to blow them open with the bombs at all. Anyway. So now we sit back and watch the end of the game. I forget what my time is. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. Anyway. Nice little cutscene into the game. Cracks, 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 boom. The original Metroid escape sequence, if you failed, was not nearly as neat looking as even if you fail on this one. You look to the right, you see a little dot flying away. That is the only thing that changes if you get the animals at the end. The Itacuns and Decoras. 2 hours and 16 minutes, not bad. So, yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how this project went. I originally thought that having randomized items would be a horrible experience because it wouldn't flow correctly. But then I was reminded of how many sequence-breaking tricks there are to the original game. Like getting the wave beam before you have the grapple beam. It's actually really, really easy. All you have to do is wall jump. Dash, run, and jump over the spike pit that separates the one beam door from the wave beam, and just wall jump up. You don't need anything really beyond that to do it. And it makes it really easy to get the wave beam. You'll end up with all three of the beams relatively quickly in comparison to what it could have been. You had to wait until you get the grapple beam, so you would have waited until after you fought Crocomire each time. There's just all kinds of little sequence breaks like that, and that, I think, is what made this type of project possible. I mean, you could get any item pretty much at any time. There are a couple things, like that first item has to either be the Morph Ball or something that can destroy bomb blocks. I think your only other shot in that is Screw Attack. And I have played some where the first item you get is the Screw Attack. It completely changes the dynamic of the game. Completely changes it. So anyway, as usual, you get to see, depending on your completion time, Samus without her suit. Yes, this game is from 1994. And my percentage was, I know I missed 9 items. So, I'm not going to do the math in my head. I really don't care all that badly. 95% though. Pretty darn good. And as this says, see you next mission, perhaps I will definitely be doing another Let's Play of a different game. Probably not another rendition of Super Metroid again. If I do play another Super Metroid, it'll probably be as part of a live stream in which I just try and grind the whole thing out in one shot. Which, I'll be honest, I tried to do a recording of an entire Let's Play of this as my first attempt, and my voice didn't get captured through the entire thing. I only found out when I stopped recording and looked at the footage, and my voice wasn't in it. No commentary, no fun. Anyway, as I said before, and as the screen says right now, see you next mission, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you again.